Oh, yes.
And we are live.
Good afternoon.
I nearly said good evening then.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
It kind of feels like it.
They don't not let me out in the daytime.
Well, you got the restraining order lifted for today, did you, Mick?
Just trying to remember what juice is on that. That's all right.
It's amazing what you can do with them tags with a bit of tin foil and a screwdriver.
We've all got a tag on at the minute.
Oh, yes. Well, welcome to episode 46. As you can see, we are joined by the gentleman of Gainsborough, young Mr. Beavers.
I've just got out the green room, so...
Yeah, which reminds me, she complained, mate.
The champagne was a little too cold.
Yeah. Thing is, though, you didn't tip her. What are you going to expect?
We tried, that's why she complained. Oh, and before we start, I've just seen the most bizarre comment from Kentucky Bill. Is this the show where we find out how sheep's bladders are used to prevent earthquakes?
Okay. I've not heard that one before.
No, probably.
Bill?
Let's have a go.
Bill, what you been drinking, Bill? Have you been making hand sanitizer in the back?
Yeah. Usually they're out at night, because obviously it's 9 o'clock in the morning there. Usually his medication had kicked in.
Flashy, it doesn't smell in here.
It's a Monty Python thing.
Yeah, oh yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Bill's absolutely mad on Monty. If you ask him about any film, he'll do you 10 minutes of dialogue without a break, and not get a word wrong either.
Oh, I'm impressed.
Very.
I am impressed.
Especially Biggest Dicketh. He loves that one.
Biggest Dicketh.
I got a bottle of Charlie Chalks out of the cupboard, and on the side of it said Trifectus Maximus on the side of it, and it sets him off laughing every time.
Oh, brilliant. All right. So, episode 46, we're getting closer and closer to the 52. Oh.
Yeah, I know, it's scary. Hey, saying that, we got that thing on Facebook. It was a year ago today, by date. It was your first episode of Home Service.
Yes, scared the crap out of me when that came up.
I know. That genuinely does not feel a year ago.
Well, I mean, Mick was just saying, they only started back in February.
Mm-hmm.
But the subscribers, and if you haven't subscribed,
do subscribe. Yes.
Late Night Vape Show. Get over.
If you want to put your link in chat, you are more than welcome to, sir.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. You probably have to do it.
Right, I'll do. I will do that then. I'll just find that while you're talking.
You have to have a lovely spanner to put links in other.
Oh, yeah, you do, don't you?
I tried it once before and it didn't work. If you could.
Where are you? Say something in chat and then I'll make you a spanner.
All right.
See how relaxed this day is. It's relaxed.
I think you'll find he's under Late Night Vape Show, Mark.
I know.
Yeah, there you are. Hello.
There you go. It makes life easier.
When do you need this super chat then for Payne to come on?
There you go.
No, we'll just accept the bloody your firstborn, Mick. Don't worry about it. I'm parcel to a bit of black pudding, yeah. We don't want much, just a bucket full, yeah.
What about the one for the second born? Can we come to a deal?
Go to channel.
Later, mate. Later, after the show.
Copy and.
We don't want evidence going out on YouTube, so.
And there you go. You've got your link in chat for you.
Oh, lovely. Thank you very much.
There you go. We'll keep on putting that in there.
There it is. Yeah, I tried it once because you said to put it in once before, didn't you? It didn't work for me. It just comes up with series of numbers.
Well, the Lord of Lewdness is with us.
Grumpy has turned around and said, turn Mick up. I can't turn Mick up. Mick, turn your son up a bit.
Am I quiet?
Yeah, by all accounts, you're a bit quiet.
I don't know you turn yourself up. It's set on Zoom. It's set on full on Zoom.
You might have to do it on your computer.
Yeah.
See, with OBS, I've got with VC, I've got control. I can turn people up, but unless you can do it, Steve, because you're hosting.
I shall give it a go.
No, they said set's fairly clear, but sometimes I listen and Bill's a lot louder than what I am. But
so it might be down to your actual setup when you with your mic on your computer.
It probably is, but I've never found out how you do it. I actually googled it the other day to find out because I was listening back at one of the shows and it seemed quieter than what Bill is. But sometimes, obviously, late at night, next doors are in bed and running a terrace, so try and keep it down a bit.
Yeah.
That's better. It's probably me mumbling.
Well, there is, if you go into your settings, Mick, there is an automatically adjust volume which will make you quieter and louder. So
settings on
Sinner
on Zoom.
Sinner. Have you seen what Sinner's just said? Even after all these years, I still expect Sooty, Sweep and Sue to keep popping up on Mark's stream.
Oh, dear. Yeah, I've done that in the Zoom. I did that the other day to make sure it was fully up. Because I wondered if there was one in the Windows as well. But...
Yeah, it will be. What microphone are you using?
It's this one.
You're using that one? All right. Yeah. So it might be in your Logitech settings.
Sometimes the headset's levels can be a bit quiet.
Yeah.
Which,
yeah,
go on. No, sorry, mate.
I bought a microphone and it wasn't very good, shall we say. After the first 2 weeks when I plugged it in and just got a buzzing noise coming out the other end.
Never.
Bill made me buy it.
And the moral of the story is don't buy microphones from Ann Summers.
Pretty much.
That's what it was. I thought it was a bit weird. It said big black 12. I thought it was a foot tall.
That side bit wasn't a switch, mate.
I'm not saying anything else. It's Sunday afternoon. Can't get away with it on a Sunday afternoon.
It's Sunday afternoon. Yeah, come on. So, do you want me to say hello to chat then?
Well, I'll give it a go if you want.
Yeah, you know I can't read.
Right. Well, if you'll bear with, so we have Timmy. Our faithful YTS. Hephaestus, good afternoon. We know Mick's here. Bill, good afternoon, mate.
Afternoon.
We've got Chaos Pixie. Hello.
Hello.
Uggles.
Yes, Uggles.
We've got Ben, grumpy old vapor, bless him. We have the Reverend is with us. Nominee Partry.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Sorry. Nice to see you.
Mr. Chandler, good afternoon.
Mr. Chandler.
Mr. Doyle.
Chrissy Baby's in.
Fine spanners. We have Puffin Billy. Good afternoon, mate. Kentucky Bill. Well, we know Kentucky's in. Bless him. Tiberius. Good afternoon. And I think I said Hephaestus. Blimey.
Sinner. Don't forget Sinner.
Can't forget the Lord of the Lewdness, the God of the Gutter, the Sir of all things sexual. Sinner! I'm going to have to work on that intro for him, bless him. Dion, good afternoon. And, and Steve's in, and Jasper. Balls. Black Country Vapor, always good to see you, Steve. Virtual church for Rev today.
It is.
I bet the VR's interesting when the choir boys come on for some of them. Well, that's me struck by lightning.
You finished?
With interesting blokes in black from the Vatican waiting outside the flat tomorrow morning.
Hey,
yeah, it's Palm Sunday today, isn't it?
Is it really?
Yeah,
that's
Palm
what I was
Sunday.
Talking about.
Yeah, Palm Sunday.
As you can tell, I don't normally go to church.
I did all my guilt when I was younger and they dragged me, so... I'll be damned if I'm going to sit in a room talking dirty to some bloke that can't have sex. It's not right.
Exactly. I mean, what do they know?
Are you supposed to get tips? Oh, bless. Yeah, I was waiting for that one from Sinner. You had to mention Palm Sunday, didn't you? That's actually... You know, when Rev's just described a virtual church and he's got no uniforms, no silly hats, just a gathering of people who love Jesus.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I could go for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could go for that. I'm not a big fan of religion. I think it causes more problems than it solves. But if it offers hope, solace and faith, you know, a bit of succor to people, you can't knock it, can you?
You can't.
Chris, thank you for putting the Late Night Vape Show link in. See, we're tarting you here, mate.
We are tarting you.
Thanks, Chris. They probably will be disappointed, though, but anyway.
Kentucky says it. Yes.
Got a lucky little silly hat and got to have it.
I still like that meme I saw where it said unexpected item in the baggage area and they've got the Spanish Inquisition popping out of the weight bits.
Yeah.
Monty Python, God, they've done us proud over the years.
They have, haven't they? Yeah. we were saying, because we were on about this now, because obviously I've watched a lot of television recently.
Have you?
Yeah, just a little bit. And because I'm usually in 3 nights a week, at least 1 night a week I'm in, sometimes 2, so it's been getting a bit regular. And we said we were going to dig out the Monty Python and see if we can find them somewhere on Netflix or something like that, do the Life of Brian, so we can go through the full dialogue with Bill.
It's weird, isn't it? I don't know about you. I mean, I know you, Steve, you're still working, but for me, this is just... I've got to that stage where it's weird. Because I'm not used to this length of time off from work. It's so like, oh, this... It just don't feel right, this. I'm not used to it.
You're wondering where to send sick note, aren't you?
Yeah, I know. Well, like I said to you, I mean, what was going off with Quarry last year, I only ended up having, well, I didn't have a week off last year. I ended up having sort of like long weekends because obviously limited amount of staff and how the Quarry was shutting down. So all last year, I didn't have a proper holiday. So this is the actual first time that I've had a fortnight off with my wife, which is, don't get me wrong, absolutely fantastic.
Nice.
But now we've got, after that fortnight, it's sort of like, this is, I feel like I should be going back to work now.
Yeah.
It does feel weird.
Reb's just put 3 weeks off, back to work tomorrow night. David, thank you for joining us, mate.
Oh.
Good afternoon. Tetley, I missed Tetley out.
Oh, Tetley.
I'm sorry, mate. Do apologise.
What's that? You three are less than 2 meters apart on my screen, I'm telling Boris. Sorry.
Feel free, because when Health Minister goes back 7 days instead of 14 after getting virus.
Yeah.
That's a worry.
Did you see this morning on Facebook, there was a park in London and it was full.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
You never know though sometimes if it's true. Yeah, I mean I don't know who put it on, because there was one the other week showing a woman that was in her last throes of being ill, and it turned out to be from a non-smoking thing about 5 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, and I remembered it, to be honest, as soon as I said.
To be honest, it's way too easy to start doctoring media these days.
It is,
Yeah. Especially on social media. Because nobody's... They still haven't worked out, who holds the responsibility.
Yeah,
right.
they haven't, no.
Yeah.
Some people think they're posting it for a laugh or to be clever or to get attention, and the effects on it can be catastrophic because everybody else thinks, well, they're going out, so we will.
Yeah.
Well, this is it.
It's not right.
Des has just joined us,
bump.
bless you. So he goes, that's SoulOhm, Mark, BFG, Steve, and the dodgy taxi driver sat in his kitchen. Hello, Mick. Oh, bless.
I was in his chat last night asking for all the freebies, but I never got anything.
Well.
Well, they do it to me, so it's fair do. Asking him what polish he used for his head and all that sort of thing.
I normally find lard. You get that lovely bacon smell as well when it gets warm.
Ooh.
just stay in too much. It just seems to shine on its own. I'm used to a bit more fresh air than what I've been getting.
Yeah, a lot more fresh air. Blooming out.
It's the first time since I started self-employed 96, and we do go away quite a lot. But it's the first 2 weeks I've had at home since 1996. It's a bit weird, really, but it's all right. Okay.
So, since you are our guest,
Yep.
we're going to put you in the spotlight now.
Oh no.
Yeah, we've got to do it. We've got to ask you. So, how did you start vaping? Where was your journey? Where did that begin?
TVS 4 years ago, in January, last January. A friend of mine, he started doing it, and I thought, that's not for me. I couldn't do that, and I'm still smoking fags and blowing them in his face. And then all of a sudden, I thought, I went to Lanzarote and come back with 400 fags because you're allowed to. And even then, when I come back, I thought I might give that a go. And as if by magic, I've got that norovirus for about 4 days, and each day I'd have a cigarette a day. And then I thought, well, there's a good chance I'll put down. And I went, it was Kyle that worked there at the time, and I went in and said, I'm thinking of doing this. And I bought one of those little, it was the pen, I can't even remember what it was. It wasn't little thin pens. They were about, I don't know, about an inch across or something like that. They were fairly stout things, and they're only about 10 watts. And every juice that you put in just for some reason smelled like curry. But, so I thought, this is all right, because you obviously could do it in the cab. There's no law against it, so you could do it in the cab and just get out for a fag. So that's how I went. And then after, I think it was the second day, obviously they used to take them apart to charge them up. And so I went and bought another one. So I had two then. And then off we went. And it was just like go down and buy some every week. And I've not really, it took me a while to sort of get completely, because I used to have a bit of a mad fit and then get the urge for a cigarette. But for me personally, it worked by, well, go and have one then. And so I used to have one. And then the times that you wanted one got lesser and less. I mean, even now, like I was in away in January, a bit drunk one night. My mate's still smoking, and I pinched one of his, but they don't really work for me now. Like you get, you have a drag of it, and you think, and halfway down, it's gone. But that worked for me anyway. I mean, it doesn't always work for everybody else because sometimes if you're in your head, you can't have something, you want it a lot more, don't you? So let it win you over.
So what device kind of got you really into vaping then?
I can't remember the name of those. Those 2 pens were the ones that sort of started to get me off. But the Nautilus mouth to lung tank, and I've still got it. And every now and again, that was the one that really did it because I went from these pens to a SoulOhm, and that wasn't really doing it for me because it was just a lot of steam, wasn't it? And then I got that Nautilus, and it was Space Jam's Galactica, and I vaped that for 2 years, every day for 2 years.
Every day for 2 years?
Yeah, I did, yeah. I loved it, absolutely loved it. Then they stopped making it. TPD came, and apparently it got that diacetyl or whatever in it, so they took it off the menu. And then Pinkman after that, and then up until 6 months ago, I bought an OBS cube, and I use that in the cab, 12 milligram, whatever in. And then got all the toys when I get home. You don't really want the stack mech in your taxi, do you really?
Yeah, I think you do. Yeah, it's handy to sort of like if you get problems, you know what I mean. You've got a tool. You will pay.
Yeah, it could be a weapon, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Mick, what you want's a vapor giant, mate. I can guarantee. 26 650s stacked inside it.
No.
I haven't seen you on that one for a while.
Well, at the minute, it's packed away very safely, so I haven't got all the kit across. So.
Who were they made by?
Yeah.
Oh, Vapor Giant.
Yeah, Vapor Giant.
It's actually Vapor Giant.
What is it? Is it a stack mech?
Yeah.
Is it dual stacks? Or?
Is it what, sorry, Mick?
Is it dual?
Yeah, it's a dual 26 650.
Yeah.
But you can strip it down to either do a single 26 or run it as a stacked.
Oh, right.
It's a lovely bit of kit.
Yeah.
And it's side button.
Yes.
Yeah, that side button as well. That side fire is easy.
Because we were at Expo and we walked past the stall and Mark just went, Steve.
Did you both get one then?
No, I didn't get one.
Well, they dropped it from some silly price to 85 quid.
Can't leave it there at that, can you?
So it was like, no, having it. It was a big old boy, though.
That's how I ended up with that rule breaker. It went from 156 to 90.
Got it.
I'd already got the Valhalla because I got it to put on. Because I didn't really want triple series for a start, I didn't think. And so I got it and put it on the Stormbreaker. And of course, it's a waste of time because you want some smaller coils in there because it's parallel. So it ended up, I bought an Asgard for it and then put it in the cupboard. And anyway, obviously I just bought it at that. I do use it quite a lot, to be honest. It'd be better on a sunny evening outside because 3 chugs on it and you can't see in the room.
Can't beat that. There's nothing wrong with that.
I could do that on an Aegis X.
Yeah, I can, yeah.
Mark can testify to that one.
Well, my wife can.
Well, yeah, Jan
My wife can.
She's trying to watch Star Trek and I'm chucking clouds. Bill's just really...
Is he giving me some stick?
No, Kentucky Bill's just put, after my implants, I'm going to be stacked. The mental image I have now is just wrong. It's like a cross between Tiger King and Pamela Anderson.
Well, he is.
Fist bump, Frank. Yeah. So what was your first mech then?
Second-hand. It was a second-hand one. I don't even know what the name of it is. It wasn't a particularly good one. I bought it with a battery charger and some 2700 batteries for not a lot of money. So it was one of them, and it's one where you screw the top on it, basically screw it inside, and then you put the atomizer on there. Then I bought one called a Dragon, which is an 18650, and then I bought a Purge Slant piece, and then I bought bird stack piece. I actually got that from Fast Eddie's in Orlando. I went down.
Oh, you've been to Fast Eddie's?
Yeah, I went in on purpose. Yeah.
Oh, what's it like?
Not as good as you think.
Really?
I expected to go in there and the chap with a long beard making coils, and I went in and it was the staff are really young and they're all vaping pods, and it was a bit of a letdown, really, to be honest, for that. But as you walk in the door on the right hand side, they've got a bar and a pool table, and then on the left hand side is where the thing is, and then there's a big glass chest full of brass, and he said, "Oh, it's 10% off today." Oh, my life. Be honest though, it was I paid a lot less for that than what I did for the slam piece, because obviously it was over here when I bought the slam piece. But I don't use that very much. But I've just got a Rajan, I don't know if he's in your chat, but he told me about the adapters that you can get to go in between two 21-700s.
Yeah.
I could never find one of them. I've looked all over the place. And he showed me a link for one, and I bought 2 of them, so now I can use the 21-700s in there. But,
cool.
Yeah, and then I started buying boxes as well. Then I love this one, this Saga. Absolutely love this. That's dual series. Well, they're so easy to hold.
Yeah.
Like when you get a stacked in your hand, it's a big thing. But these are just like smaller than an Aegis.
See, I think my next treat's going to be the Titan.
Is it?
Yeah, I definitely want one. Thing is, in my hands, I mean, it's not that bad, and it's quite comfy anyway. So
yeah, that's right.
Timmy's just got a Vapor Giant Mini, first mech ever owned. I blame it for starting my shiny-itis.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Des has just put only stacked at Kentucky Bill. Knows how to stack. The only stacked Kentucky Bill knows how to stack is all his toilet paper, water, and chips. He's hoarded.
He's a hoarder. Bill is actually a hoarder. But it's actually his wife that's a hoarder, and she hoards all the time. So they'd already had 80 or 90 bog rolls before the thing. So.
A timely reminder from Bill: you too can enjoy twat chat, but live chat's better.
He's got an English sense of humour, Bill has. So that's why we got onto it. He's so funny. He's just so funny.
I'll tell you one thing, you're talking about box mods. That's why I'm madly in love with this clutch. I just not put the thing down since I got it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. By all accounts, they're going to bring out a dual battery version later on in the year, which I can't wait for.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
And they were also on about making thicker doors for the one that you've already got, so you could put a bigger atomizer on, because they said they didn't realise, Matt Vape said they didn't realise that people would want to, they were that bothered about overhang, but...
Yeah,
so
people are. The only, I mean, I ain't done the review yet. Review's out tomorrow, but the only complaint I've got is the little gap that you can see at the bottom.
Yeah.
The 510 don't fit flush. That's the only problem I've got with it. And that's it. I love it. It's just haven't been out my hands since I got it. In fact, I've put most of my mechs away. It's this that I've been using all the time. Yeah.
I just want like a beauty ring to go on the top and do that, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Just as a simple thing, if they just knock like a load of washers out or something.
But to get a beauty ring on this one, you're definitely going to need wider doors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because obviously, I mean, this is the Zeus X on top of there, and it's virtually nearly hanging there now.
Yeah.
So.
Done about making a silver tray for it as well to get more conductivity.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah, there was. Yeah. Originally, they were saying, I don't know whether it'll ever happen, because then all of a sudden, all this has come down, hasn't it? But that's what he was saying.
It's cracking. It just works, and it blooming hits like a blooming train. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, what you want. Couple of hellos. Net Reality, thanks for joining. And
Lisbeth, Muggles.
Big thank you to Net Reality as well. He shared the link to his YouTube playlist. There is some corkers on there. There's stuff on there that I haven't heard in years. Absolutely brilliant stuff. So thanks a lot, mate. You really, really perked up my day with that one.
I'll have to... I spotted him on your Facebook, to be honest. Because it's an hello, Steve. It's the same time. I'm not sure what his name is. And then he put obviously his username in brackets, I think.
Yeah. It's really weird on Facebook when people say, hey, hey, Steve. And you're thinking...
Who the hell's that?
Who's that?
Yeah.
You ought to go... when we're at Expo, that's even worse. when people are coming up to you,
Yeah.
and it's like, I don't know who you are. You
Yeah.
do, because you know me. It's like, no, who are you? And then they obviously, I still say name tags must be compulsory at Expo.
Yeah.
Oh, JP, when he gave us that Kendall mint cake.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was walking on a cloud after that. We've been talking in chat about Kendall mint cake. And then at Expo, he turns up with a bar.
Yeah.
It was fab.
It's lovely when things like that happen. It really is. So, you've got a show.
I have.
So how did this come about?
Turning up in chats on other people's shows. More with me working nights, there were more the American ones later at night. And then Mark Fagan opened the Zoom up a couple of times, and we went in there, and then I went in there for the Christmas special. I'm on his Christmas special, on his NAV show. It was about 50, it was a bit like that one what you were on last night. It was a full house. And I said, I'd already been talking to Bill, or I think I'd just start talking to Bill just after that. And I said, I'm going to start a vape show. And he went, oh yeah, of course you are. And anyway, a couple of days later, I said to a guy, can you make us a video to put on the front? He went, oh yeah, we'll do, yeah. And he didn't believe me either. And then I turned up and I got the Zoom room. I got a Facebook account with the name of the thing on it. Well, I used to turn up there was always this thing about this place called Sheboygan in America. I can't remember where it is now. So I made myself a fake account up called the Sheboygan Adult Store, because it used to get you noticed in chat. And that was the idea of it. So then we decided we'd call the vape show the Sheboygan Late Night Show. Well, after about 2 weeks, it wasn't even funny, so we changed the name of it. And that's how we've got to where we are now. Can you remember the Joan Collins fan club years ago with
Julian Clary?
Yeah. That was my idea. That's where it came from. Joan Collins fan club, Sheboygan Adult Store. And we even had a picture of a naked bloke flashing, that type of thing. In the Abbey, it was quite funny, and but I say got us noticed. I actually got on his show with it. So and then I used to turn up. Used to do a thing at the end of the show where you could turn up for 10 minutes. If somebody could come in for 10 minutes, and I went in a few times with that. So we've got quite a few people from America that joined on.
Awesome.
So it started as a laugh, ended up as quite serious. Really, we really enjoyed it.
So pimping you out. What time are you on here in the UK?
10:30.
10:30
on a Sunday night, yeah. And then randomly in the week, we just turn up live. So if you're subscribing, sometimes people turn up. Obviously, with this lockdown thing, we've turned up a bit more than usual, and just a chat. That's all. Just a laugh.
Pretty much like us.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, isn't it? That's what we did, isn't it? And Vampire Vape, they sent me some stuff to review, which was really kind of them.
Oh, nice one.
Some juice. I got in touch with a few people. They were the only one that actually replied. I only got in touch with them for a discount code, see if something to put in your content on your show. And she said, "Oh no, we don't really want to do that, but we'll send you some juice to have a look at." And they sent me 160 ml of juice, which was really kind of them.
Fist bump.
Benny in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, mate. He's doing a good thing with his mixing show on a Wednesday. I was watching him last week.
I think that's going to be a big thing soon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It is, yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Stuart, as well.
Stuart's in. I can see. Stuart.
Hello, Stuart.
So, Steve, have we got any news at all?
There's not a lot, kid. Not a lot at all. Most of it, to be honest, is US. Obviously, Kumo's making the most of the COVID-19 outbreak to try and get his way with vaping, which is never good.
No.
But the more that bloke opens his mouth, the bigger idiot he is. Allegedly, British American Tobacco, the maker of Dunhill and Lucky Strike, claimed that their US biotech unit was working on a potential vaccine for COVID-19 using proteins extracted from tobacco leaves. I think the Chinese would have already thought of that if it was a valid.
Yeah, pretty much.
Illinois congressman is urging the FDA to temporarily... New teeth, please. It's urging the FDA to temporarily ban vaping products, supposedly to protect users from the added dangers vaping poses to COVID-19 victims.
What?
Exactly. This is along the lines of the cloud of vapor enveloping people will help to spread the virus, which is complete balls.
Yeah, complete and utter.
So consumers are staying at home and spending less on COVID-19 as COVID-19 and social distancing mandates sweep across the globe. Cigarettes have proven pandemic proof. So this is because most of the outlets that are deemed as essential also sell fags. And this brings me onto the IBVTA, who are still pushing for vape shops to be classed as essential shops. And I think that is the case. We are going to see, if we're not careful, a massive return of new vapors to cigarettes.
Yeah.
Because they just can't get hold of it. Yes, you can get stuff in Asda, but like I said the other week, you know, Dinner Lady apple pie or lemon tart is pretty much your only choice of something that's vapeable. I can get hold of vape stuff from B&M, the store rather than the bricks and mortar. And you know, £1 a pop, that stuff, I won't wish it on my worst enemy. You know?
Yeah, we are going...
What do you think on it, Mick? Do you think the vape stores should be classed as essential, or?
I think there should be something. Obviously, you've got to be there to protect the people that work in there. And if you're working somewhere and your boss wants you to go to work, you probably will. So I think they should have a closed door policy where they put a counter across the front of the door. You know what I mean? You open the door of the shop, put a table there, and that's as near as they ever should get. Because it should be available. Vape stuff should be available. And in this country, I think we get off pretty well with because obviously the government support vaping, and they probably should support it more a little bit in that way. Vape supplies should be available. I'm not talking about hardware. Everybody can wait for a new mod, but juice should be available. Coils should be available.
Yeah.
And
I totally agree. As long as obviously you can abide by the government guidelines. Yeah. Even if it's just like one person in the shop per go. I think, yeah. I mean, let's face it. If a bike shop's an essential place to work, if an off license is an essential place, I can't see why a vape shop isn't.
No, it should definitely be available.
This is it. And Stockton North MP Alex Cunningham shares the same view because he wrote to the Secretary of State for Housing, Communities and Local Government, stating whilst shops that sell tobacco are open and accessible to the public, those shops which sell successful stop smoking aids, such as e-cigarettes, have been identified as non-essential. This has caused concern that any supply issues with e-cigarette liquids could cause people to turn back to tobacco, as they're often only stocked in small amounts, which is true. Yeah, most shops don't have a massive. So, as I said, UK VIA have been upping the pressure, saying it's critical during these highly stressful times that vapers who have access to vape products to prevent them from taking the backward step. And likewise, it enables smokers looking to quit to switch to vaping, which I think is always the big thing, isn't it? You know, we are hobbyist vapers. We enjoy vaping. We've already made that step. Sometimes it does feel like the new vapor does get sidelined a little. You know.
Also, I mean, with me working in a vape shop, you don't realise it when you're you're a hobbyist, but you still get them people that buy small amounts. So they buy 5 bottles, 5 10ml bottles, and they'll go in once a week. Like they used to when they used to go to the local shop at newsagents. They'd buy a paper and a packet of fags. You've still got a lot of people that still do that kind of buying. They don't buy online. They just buy It's not a hobby like ours. They're just doing it to not smoke cigarettes. And it's them people that will miss the actual vape shops.
They will, yeah, definitely. They will go straight back to smoking. And it's usually the ones that they'll have high nicotine, 10ml bottles in a mouth-to-lung device. They're the ones that just replace smoke.
And especially at the workshop shop, that's our bulk customer base. It's your 10ml bottles, high nicotine, and they're on a Nautilus type of vapor.
Yeah.
And they're happy with that.
Yeah. And they'll probably never get anything else. They'll
Yeah.
just carry on with that.
Now, no one knew about Philip Morris International's donation of respirators to the Greek government until independent journalists broke a story that have sent tobacco controllers into a meltdown. The anger at Philip Morris International's generosity spiraled when anti-vape zealots discovered that British American Tobacco is working on a vaccine for COVID-19. British Big Tobacco criticised for coronary publicity stunt after donating ventilators, wrote the Bureau of Investigative Journalism. It was some publicity stunt given that nobody knew about it. A subsidiary of PMI, this is going to be fun. Papastratos donated 50 ventilators to Greek healthcare, including 19 to intensive care units at Soteria General Hospital of Thoracic Disease in Athens, according to a shocked TBIJ reporter. Which is... Then there's a comment from David Newell. Having donated life-saving ventilators to the people of Greece, tobacco companies are now trying to help homeless smokers by offering them free vaping gear. But apparently it's all a dastardly plot to undermine the almighty Article 5.3.
Interesting. Wow, snap.
Well, let's be right. The virus has taken over everything.
It is.
So now would be the time if you were trying to pull off something sneaky, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, of course, because let's face it, I mean, while this hand's doing this, the other hand's, you don't know what it's doing.
Yeah. No.
Which is always a concern.
Mm.
It is with a tobacco company because they're proven to it.
Oh, God, yeah. The Book of
aren't
Dirty
they?
Tricks came.
They made it, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. Now, I think that is pretty much it, lads. Because interesting. Ahead of a global meet in November 2020, vapers in India have written a letter to the union ministers asking to revise the government's position on smoke-free nicotine products such as electronic cigarettes and snus. In the letter, vapers asked for the Union Minister for Health and Family Welfare, Harsh Vardhan. You know,
Been Varshaden, wouldn't it?
Minister of Railways and Commerce, Piyush Goyal, and Minister of External Affairs, Mr. Jahanka.
That's made up. That's a made up story, surely. Go on, sorry.
Go on.
No, it's just with India, if you remember, sort of snuck it in, and it wasn't just a restriction; it was basically an iron curtain on.
Yeah, totally iron curtain.
Yeah.
So this looks to be the next attempt to try and get it moved.
Prior to everything going off, a friend came into the shop, and he'd gone out to India, and believe it or not, he was all right when he went into India with his vape products. It was when he was coming out that they stopped him.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, the customs boys got a very big slap on the wrist for actually going through people's baggage and confiscating vaping stuff as well.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but he was all right in the country. He spent 2 weeks there in Bali and vaped quite happily, but it was when he was coming back to the UK that they grabbed him. Very strange. But I mean, that was before this. I mean, let's face it, India, they had a lockdown. I think he gave everybody 5 hours or something daft like that, wasn't it?
5 hours.
Something like that.
Yeah, total lockdown of the country, and they literally gave 5 hours. That's why there was a mass panic for all the workers to go home.
Really?
Oh yeah, there was an absolute mass panic in India because obviously everyone's just been right. Your job's gone.
It shows you. I mean, again on Facebook, whether it's true or not, I don't know. But it shows you where they actually, they're beating people with long sticks. The police tell them to go home. Now, whether that's a story from now or from a different time, or
No, that's from now. That's from
Is
now.
it really?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
actually smacking them on the head with sticks and that,
Yeah.
just walking down the road.
I think most of the police carry big sticks. It's their thing.
It's a normal. It is a normal. Now I've just put a link for a podcast into chat. Don't normally mention podcasts, but this one is Dr. Marawa Glover and tobacco harm reduction journalist Michael McGrady as they discuss the exploitation of the COVID-19 pandemic as a means for prohibition measures for restricting tobacco and alcohol access across the nation of New Zealand. Now, I don't think we've got any Kiwis in chat, but stuff like this I always like listening to because you sort of getting an idea. Because if they've had problems with this in New Zealand, you can guarantee it's going to crop up somewhere else. You know, but it's actually quite a good little podcast, so worth having a listen to if you're interested.
I mean, let's face it, we've got time to listen to him now.
Oh man,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I wish. You know, if I try and stream anything at work because of the amount of people home working, you know, I'll get a phone call within 2 minutes. That's against the policy.
All right.
I used to get away with it.
That's the good thing about 100 gig of data. You can download most things in a month on a phone.
It's amazing. So, like the stuff that I started watching, just absolute random stuff on YouTube. It's so like, I've watched this, I watched that, Oh, all of a sudden I'm watching blooming Rat Rod Bob and things like that. So it's been brilliant.
That's how I found the Brazilian wax videos.
Okay.
Was on YouTube. Just going through. Must have fallen asleep and woke up. And you know it keeps on playing videos. Well, when I woke up, lo and behold, there was somebody's food spread across the screen.
Yeah, okay.
And somebody else pulling the strip.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
We're not having that one.
No, sorry.
Leave it.
Fair enough.
Leave it.
No.
And the
Do you honestly
And next
think-
you'll be telling me there was a snake just about to bite your dick.
Yeah.
And you were brushing it off. Yeah.
It was on the big telly in the living room. If I'd even searched for anything like that, it would have been visible to anybody that used the telly.
Yeah.
You just keep digging.
Just, yeah.
So what's that then? Brazilian?
Brazilian wax tutorial.
The other night I went in the front room and we ended up watching a DIY program which I've never ever watched in my life before, and then after that we watched the film with subtitles, and if I'd have been at work I wouldn't have had time for either of them, and the film was absolutely brilliant, and I haven't got the name of it, which is sad, but it was about a Polish camp in the World War II, and it was bloody sad to be honest, but it was a brilliant film, and it was subtitles in Russian, and it was an amazing film. But you'd never watched them because you're usually like, I ain't got time to watch that. I'm at work tomorrow. I need to watch this. Get everything done what's on your planner. But you've missed a lot by doing that.
I've noticed there's a lot of streaming channels coming up, especially Indian and, more foreign films that are coming up. I've noticed there's a lot more advertisements for them as well coming up, which I think is a good thing. Because I do like a good foreign film.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I used to subscribe to Channel 4 Films when you had to subscribe to them. Because you've got some really weird ones on there. Some really good ones as well that you've never seen. And some quite shocking ones as well.
And that's where I found Old Boy.
Yep.
And that is an absolute... If you've not watched it, watch that film. That is amazing. They did an American remake of it, which is nowhere near as shocking as the original. But yeah, if you ever get a chance, it's called Old Boy.
Old Boy.
Old Boy, one word. You probably get it on Netflix. You can get it on Amazon anyway.
The original Japanese one was 80s, I think.
No, I don't think it was that old. Old boy.
I think it is.
I don't think it's 80s. I think it's younger than that.
Is it 90s then? But
Might be.
It's not.
It's not new. It's not new. But honestly, it's a Korean. Is it a Korean film?
I think it's Japanese.
They're pretty rough, aren't they? Some of them Japanese films.
But honestly, if you, old boy, honestly,
blimey, you're right. 2003,
I didn't think it was as old as 80s.
and apparently it's part of a trilogy.
There you go.
But it was released in 2004. You can buy it on YouTube for $2.99, or it's available on Google Play for $2.99. It is really
It's
worth watching.
really worth watching. I can't tell you too much about it because as soon as I start, what I can tell you about it, a drunken bloke. The first scene that you see is a drunken bloke. He's a businessman. He's just walking out of an alleyway. Next minute, he's locked up in a room for 15 years.
Oh, bloody hell.
And obviously, he goes a little bit stir crazy, but occupies himself. But he does not know why he's locked up in this room for 15 years. He doesn't know who's locked him up in these 15 years. After the 15 years, all of a sudden, he wakes up, and that's how the film carries on. And you find out why and all that, but without getting into too, because if I get into too much detail, it'll spoil it. But honestly, it's absolutely an amazing film. But obviously,
There
it's
are some
subtitles.
proper twists in it as well. If you are easily offended, don't.
I've driven a cab for 28 years. I don't think I'm going to be easily offended. I've just looked reading the chat. It's where are we? And it's Korean. It's Park Chan something. What's that?
It is Korean.
Yeah, Korean. I thought it was Korean.
But I mean, that's the nice thing about Netflix, because they've recently put some of the old Japanese anime on, like Howl's Moving Castle and things like that. If for kids that haven't seen this stuff, it's brilliant. It just sort of expands their horizons a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, my two favourite: Vampire Hunter D.
Yeah.
And Appleseed.
I can highly recommend Oedo City 808.
You lost me completely.
Sorry, Mick. There we are. Yes, Studio Ghibli. Thanks, Irish.
So we're talking about films. What films are you into? What kind of genre do you like?
Me? I watched Joker last week. That was brilliant. I'm not going to say anything about it, but it is brilliant. But if you're expecting Batman to turn up at any time, you'll be a bit disappointed. It's not down that thing at all. About a real dark trail of mental health. That's what it's about. I found it fascinating. Anything like maybe not so many films, because sometimes you struggle with films, don't you? Sometimes as you get older, the film starts and you think, "Oh no, this is going to end," so you find it boring. But anything crime ways or legal ways or something like that. And I used to love Suits when what do you call it was in it, Princess Doodah was in it. I used to love that, and then I just stopped watching it. It just got boring in the end. I love complex legal dramas. I find them really interesting. Anything sort of old Italian gangster style or something. I watched the new what's it called last night?
The Irishman?
No, I didn't like that. I'll be honest. I just
didn't you?
No, I didn't. No, it just went on and on and on. I kept thinking, well, it's going to end soon, and it didn't. I liked all the actors in it, and I liked sort of the thing, the way it was, the style of the film, but I just didn't, because I haven't got a massive knowledge of union history in America, and I think if you have, you'd have probably understood it more. I would have probably understood it more anyway. If I was American, I'd have probably enjoyed it more. I'm trying to think what we got all that. About the Essex Boys, there was a film about before the Essex Boys. They've just brought a second version out of it, and it's called Diary of a Foot Soldier. Is it something like that?
Yeah, Diary. That's a cracking film.
Well, this is the Marbella version, so it's based on some true facts somewhere along the line. But they said they have put different bits in it to make it into a film. So that's on there on Sky again, or now, should I say, 2019 film. Enjoyed that. I'm into not war films as such, but the history of war, that type of thing, where you actually see that things happen. There was a film I watched last year. I had a VPN, naughty boy, in Spain, and I was watching the iPlayer one Sunday afternoon, and it came on, and it was The Man That Never Was, I think it was called, or something like that. And that was really interesting. And I mentioned it to my dad. He said that's the first film I ever saw. My dad's 84. So it's the first film I ever saw at the pictures. That when I was a kid. That's how old it was. And it's brilliant. It's a brilliant film. It's a true history of a. I'm sure they call The Man That Never Was. If you ever see it, anyway, it's brilliant. I'll not tell you anything about it because it's good.
If you've got a VPN, the American Netflix was showing. It's a compilation movie of actual footage taken from the concentration camps when they actually sort of liberated them.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most heartbreaking things I've seen.
Yeah.
It's just 50 minutes of images of just pure human cruelty.
Yeah.
Did you watch that Jackson one? Lest We Forget.
No, yes, I have. I saw
That's
that.
Absolutely brilliant. You know how you've got your old, because obviously back in the day, I forget the frames per second that they were using. It was something like 12, 13 frames per second. And they put the film through computer and brought it up to 60 frames per second. So instead of all this jittery movement like you got your Charlie Chaplin looking, it was obviously the First World War. They were showing you all the history of the First World War and trenches and that lot. But they coloured it and everything. It was the same guy that did Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah.
He did it. And honestly, it is absolutely fantastic.
I've seen some of that. And they even put a soundtrack on the back of it, don't they?
Yeah. And it tells you the history of it and what it was really like in the trenches and everything. It was heartbreaking, absolutely but really good to watch, because when you see sort of like Charlie Chaplin type style-esque and they're all jittery, it's not quite that real, is it? But when you get it sort of like in colour and it becomes more real.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I watched. They did a few short ones, didn't they? With where they were showing them sat on tanks, and they were. And it was in the right, and all coloured in the right, and they actually turned into human beings, didn't they? I think that was the thing. When you used to seeing them in black and white and jittering about, they didn't seem as if they were quite as human.
Is it that one? They Shall Not Grow Old.
That's it. Yeah,
I think it is.
The same one. Yeah, it probably was. Yeah, that's probably exactly what it was.
And Timmy's more into Wallace and Gromit.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I can relate to that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that, Gromit.
See, I think it's weird because we're all pretty much of a similar generation.
Yeah.
And when we were teens, all this anime explosion and everything, it just came at the right time for me. I mean, I think I was sort of 19, 20 when it hit, but my little brother was right in the middle of it, and all of a sudden he's got videos of Akira, he's got Vampire Hunter D, Guyver, you know. But
Ghost in the Shell.
Remember, the what?
Ghost in the Shell.
Oh yeah, Ghost in the Shell. I
Blood.
still remember.
Remember Blood?
Oh God, yeah. The little schoolgirl hacking vampires to bits.
Yeah.
Now I still remember the Sunday afternoon film, which was always something black and white from 1940.
Oh God, yeah.
I used to love that when you used to go in the front room.
Mm-hmm.
Like on a cold Sunday, light the fire, and you come at black and white films. I love black and white films, even then.
Yeah.
That's where I got my love of Sherlock Holmes from.
Really?
Basil Rathbone movies.
Yeah. I can relate to that. Yeah.
Oh, things like Bridge over the River Kwai.
Yeah.
Dam Busters.
Yeah, Dam Busters.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Zulu was another one. First time I saw that was a Sunday afternoon.
Do you know one of my favourite black and whites is Spirit of St. Louis?
I've not seen that, I don't think.
No, I've not seen that.
Oh, that's awesome. And Flight to the Phoenix?
Yes.
I don't know if I ever watched it.
I love Flight of the Phoenix. It's not black and white, but it's that era.
If you like the black and whites, you'd love that one, The Man That Never Was. It was something to do with the British government dropped a body in the water so the Germans could find it, and it was responsible for not invading Greece or something like that. They actually thought they were going to. It got military documents on this body. It's a true story. Absolute true story.
Oh, what's that one I watched? Oh, brain's gone dead. Me, I hate it when my brain goes dead. It's
I did it a lot. Every time I picked
Monty. I played Monty. Remember that film?
I was Monty's double.
That's it. Yeah,
yeah.
that was a
What's
good
the
one.
one with Cary Grant and Tony Curtis where they end up? They're on a US boat and they end up picking up female nurses.
Ooh.
And it's about.
Pornhubs.
No, it's not porno. Let me have a look. Because I'm sure it's Lieutenant something. Oh, God.
I used to love the old black and white submarine films.
Operation Petticoat, that's it.
Oh, Operation Petticoat. Yes, I do remember that one.
Because they end up painting the submarine pink.
That's right, yeah. Blimey heck.
I don't think I've seen it. I've heard the name, but I've not seen it.
I think Irish might be right. I am older than I look.
I watched a lot of black and white until I finally got a colour TV.
Yeah. Oh, we did. Obviously.
I mean, our first TV when I were a kid were a black and white telly.
Yeah, we had it.
So were mine. I was the remote.
Bush.
Yeah, I was the remote. And we only had
Just
3 channels.
Yeah. Yeah, I can remember when they launched Channel 4.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I had the triangle.
Yeah. Can you remember when the television went on strike? All of them, for about 6 or 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, blooming heck, yeah.
So they talked to each other, computers in one ears, and then they all came back on at once, didn't they, the same day?
Blooming heck.
Irish. No need Irish. No.
Older than you look, BFG, that's difficult.
I think Irish and Bill ought to get together. They're both as toxic, aren't they?
Oh, is it that time? Thank you, Mrs. SoulOhm.
Oh.
Get me coffee. Hey, Steve, you'll like this one.
Oh, bless.
Oh, when it...
I got me poo, it's disgusting.
Natty.
It's a bit nutty. 1 minute, Bill remembers the launching of BBC Two.
No, I'm not that old.
I'm definitely not that old. No.
I can't quite remember that.
I still remember watching Monkey as a kid, though.
I remember Monkey, yeah.
On a Friday.
Yeah.
Or Water Margin, because they used to swap between the two.
Yeah, I can remember that. Yeah.
Oh, Water Margin was awesome.
Oh, God, yeah.
I don't know if I ever watched it, but I can remember it coming on, because a lot of things that you could turn that over. All right.
Oh, you had a household like that and all. Yeah,
yeah.
You could turn that rubbish over.
Yeah. my dad's still too daft to laugh at. That's too daft to laugh at. Go and turn that over.
Yeah, and then the buggers would make you sit there and watch 2 Ronnies or Morecambe and Wise.
Yeah, my dad was mad on Morecambe and Wise. In fact, I wouldn't turn it off if it came on.
No. Morecambe and Wise were good.
You know, you forget how famous they were. They were massively, massively famous, weren't they?
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, God, they put Ant and Dec to shame, didn't they?
Yeah,
Talking-
I
was going to say, talking about Eddie Large, he's just recently passed away, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember them winning Opportunity Knocks.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, they won Opportunity Knocks.
Well, so did Lenny Emery, didn't he?
Yeah, and Jim Davison.
Yeah.
Opportunity Knocks with Huey Green.
Yeah.
Lenny Emery skived off school
He did. I remember that story. Yeah.
because he got such a rollicking from his man.
Yeah. And the first impression he did was Frank Spencer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Who'd have thought it?
Trevor McDonald as well.
Yeah, he was brilliant at Trevor McDonald. And Trevor McDonald, he called him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He used to do that on Tiswas, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Now, was he ever on OTT?
I think he was. That rings a bell.
Because I still remember staying up for that.
I got
What about
OTT.
What about
OTT was the adult version.
Yeah.
Tis was. Because the first episode had the infamous balloon dance, where the blokes were completely naked.
I've seen that in the Barbacoa in Gran Canaria. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Oh, if you do it right, it's a sight to behold.
And he did Barbie Girl as well, and that wasn't a real lady Barbie Girl. It was a blow-up girl.
Oh God.
I'm a Barbie girl, and the things he did with this doll, it was so funny. I mean, obviously it was, it was in a club, so it was clean, but it was so fun.
I didn't realise that Freddie Starr got his break on Opportunity Knocks as well.
Did you know?
Kentucky Bill, he's just put, damn, this panel is old.
Yeah, we are. Yeah,
we are.
Not quite as old as Bill, though.
No.
And Grumpy's, guapple me, grape nuts. Lenny Henry probably did more for his career than any other person.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Because everybody remembers that grapple me grape nuts.
Yeah, what did they call him? David Bellamy.
Yes.
David Bellamy, yeah.
Yeah, he passed, I think it was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he did.
Wasn't
Yeah, he used to do the Southport Flower Show every year. He used to stay in the same hotel every year. Now, I used to take an old lady there, drop her off, and she was in the 90s, and she used to do the full 3 days. And she said, every year they used to have the same table in the same restaurant at the hotel, and it was right next to. She had breakfast with David Bellamy every morning because they knew each other. She'd been doing it for 30 odd years.
Oh, I'm sorry that you're not from the UK. These shows are on it. Well, you've got a chance now. You can go on Netflix and probably find them.
Yes.
Go to the BBC archive.
Festus,
Forget BBC America.
to be honest, we nicked most of the show formats from the US.
Yeah, of course we did.
Yeah, we did.
You know,
And you stole, and the US stole some. I don't know if he's in the US. Is he? He's in the US.
I think Festus is, yeah.
Yeah.
And they stole some of ours and ruined them as well. As in The Office, and what's the other one?
Life on Mars.
Frank
They killed that.
Frank Gallagher, that one. They ruined
I
that
never,
one.
did they do a Life on Mars?
Yes, they did a Life on
Did they?
Mars and they killed it.
I never knew that.
They changed the ending.
Hmm.
Did they?
They completely changed it.
It's from Nebraska.
Blimey. I didn't know they. I knew they did The Office, but obviously I didn't know they'd done Life on. Fancy, how can you redo Life on Mars?
Tell me about it. They got Harvey Keitel playing Gene Hunt.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he have an Audi?
No.
What
It
did
just
he
wasn't.
have?
What did
it
he
wasn't
have?
Right. I think he had some American muscle car.
Oh, well, I'd have watched that then.
Yeah.
Oh, Gav's just reminded me they did a terrible Red Dwarf as well. They did.
I never even seen that one either.
They completely recast everybody apart from Crichton.
Okay.
And it didn't get past the pilot stage. It was awful.
Talking about Red Dwarf, they're bringing a new one out, aren't they? A special on Thursday.
Yes.
I
I'm
like
hoping it's after the home service.
It's exactly when we finish.
So we'll be finishing quick then.
Maybe.
Oh, bless. Kentucky says, hey, we had Lost in Space. Danger, Will Robinson.
Danger.
I remember, I can remember that one. Lost
Yeah.
in Space.
You used to watch that on a Saturday.
Saturday morning, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Channel
TV.
4.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, blooming
Channel
hell.
4 did it.
I think we watched that before Channel 4 came out.
Hey, Terry's in. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, Terry's in.
Sheboygan Smooth Transitions Limited. He's actually on my Facebook. He sends me abuse.
Sheboygans love Mick the cab driver.
He was the reason I got timed out on the thing last week.
Yeah, Festus, I can highly recommend Rev's suggestion of Googling Sally James and the Phantom Flam flick.
Ooh, Sally James. Can you remember the Hitman on Earth?
Yeah.
Michaela Strachan and
Waterman.
Oh, Waterman,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was never
Yeah,
a fan of Michaela Strachan.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Too skinny for me.
She just didn't do it for me.
Now, had it been Sally James,
Yeah, Sally James, yeah.
Sally James was pretty, wasn't she? Well, she probably still is, bless her.
well, she's probably geriatric by now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Christ, what? If I was 10, that makes probably around the mid-70s.
Put a mental note, Google Sally James.
Always worth putting Playboy after the name as well.
Linda Lusardi was on something the other day. She's still pretty. She was,
Is she? I hadn't seen Linda Lusardi. Oh, blooming heck.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a cooking programme with, and I think it was the one out of, here we go, memory block. The one that was married to, this just gets worse. I just can't remember her either. Brian the singer, what was in Westlife, was he? Brian McFadden. I think he was doing this cooking show, and Linda Lusardi was on. And she's just as pretty as she ever was. In an older version, obviously.
She is pretty.
Yeah,
See,
she would. Go on.
I always thought Sam Fox kept her looks pretty well.
Oh, yes, pretty well.
Yeah, but she's not going to be interested in a fella,
No,
is
she's
she?
gameless.
Yeah, she swapped.
Did she actually swap, or was she always?
No,
Wow.
I think she swapped.
Did she? Because I was, and that was the problem. I've got a niece who's same-sex relationship, and it was difficult enough for her to come out. We all knew that she was gay a long while before she did, but in those days, if you were seen as being anything different to the norm, then you trash your career, didn't they?
Oh, God, yeah.
Irish.
Well done, Stuart. PC Stewart, Sam the Lemon.
Dear God.
And Grumpy knew God when he wore shorts. Yeah, went to school with Noah.
Can we have someone from this century, or is BFG going to reminisce about his childhood days watching the local knights jousting next? Irish, home my home.
Yeah, I've been watching Game of Thrones. He was in that. God, they're so brutal, aren't they? I've got about 4 left to do for the whole end of the whole thing. 4 or 5 left to do, but
Yeah, I've got the last season to go through.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm stuck on the shamed episode. Shame! Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, for some reason my box keeps on rewinding to the start of the scene. It's shocking.
By all accounts, that were a stunt double.
That's a hell of a merkin, then.
Just thought I'd let you know. By all accounts, it's a stunt double. It's not actually her body.
I've no idea what you're on about.
Just thought I'd let you know.
Which episode was it? I'll need to go back and look at that one again. Oh, that one. Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, that one.
It's clicked.
It's clicked.
Yeah, and then she got. I was looking forward to the next shamed episode, and she got killed in that thing, didn't she? Well, that would have been a better episode.
I still had a thing for what were her name now? I forget. I'm terrible with names. You know the guy that was really mean to he chopped his willy off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Remember him? Well,
Yeah,
he's bit on side that he were.
She was pretty, wasn't
Oh,
she?
she were lovely. There was that scene where she's just stood right next to the wall with the window, and it's like
Yeah, she
I
was
thought,
pretty.
oh, you could just see her rips and. Ooh.
Yeah, and she got killed, and she said, "Oh, do you want to bury her?" I said, "No, just feed it to the dogs."
Yeah.
He was quite severe, wasn't he? He'd have.
That was the only problem with Game of Thrones. It was so like, if you liked a character, they bumped him off quickly.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
It was so like, if you're going to be in Game of Thrones, it's so like, oh, am I going to be? I hope I'm not going to be a major character. You know, for work, for length.
It's like
Make
wearing
sure you
the
save
red,
your money.
it's like wearing the red jersey in Star Trek, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, not good. Well, I mean, we're past the hour.
We
So
are.
now's the time. We've asked Mick about the show, and we've asked him about the movies. Mick,
Well,
time to talk about the music, mate.
oh, the music.
The music.
Anything by Metallica or Pink Floyd.
Awesome.
I've seen Metallica once live. Obviously, I've never seen Pink Floyd live. I've seen the Australian Pink Floyd live. They were absolutely amazing.
I saw him
by,
at Sheffield.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Metallica, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Yeah, I ran up them steps to get in there. They were absolutely. It was the Death Magnetic tour. Ones where the bombs were coming out.
All right. I saw him on the Anger tour.
Oh, right. That was the one. Was it the one before? St. Anger. Anything by Soul Catcher and the Do for Diddley Band, that's all right by me.
Oh God, no, they're terrible.
Available on Deezer, especially if you listen to my theme tune on my show. You might recognise who's on it. I've seen Green Day, Marilyn Manson. Now he was good.
Yeah, I used to like Marilyn Manson.
Yeah. Now this is I can't remember who's supporting him, but just, if you're going to see Marilyn Manson, probably just go a bit late, just before he comes on. They took the bottle tops off you and everything, so you come through them in the support act. That's how shit they were. Who else have I seen? I've seen Darren Hayes as well, twice. The first time I watched him, he was really good. And the second time, he wasn't very good. Who else have I seen? Oh, The Foos. I've seen them 3 times. I ain't been to see anybody for a while now, though.
No, I haven't seen anybody for a while. I must admit. The last person I saw was C6 Steve.
I'd love to see him.
I've seen him loads of times. Absolutely brilliant. If you're into C6 Steve, he did a live performance last night. So you can watch it on YouTube, on replay. Talking about Pink Floyd, I went to see Roger Waters do The Wall at Manchester.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That was my 40th birthday present from my wife.
Do you know, funny you say, I'm just looking at it's gone missing again, but I've got the Wall concert, the original Wall concert on cassette. And we found the box. It comes in a box with a Wall, you know. And it's gone missing again. But we found it in a box the other day, and there's no point in trying to play it because I played it that many times. It plays both sounds at once. It's worn out basically, but I kept it because it was a present from Grandma.
Yeah, I've got quite a few bootleg versions of that.
Yeah, this is the official version.
Oh, the one with the masks on the front.
Yeah, probably. Well,
Yeah.
no, it's a couple of cassettes.
Yeah, it'll be double cassette.
Yeah, double cassette. With
Yeah.
It's a Wall.
Mm.
Have you ever seen there was a bootleg version on YouTube, and I think they took it down with that, and it showed you when they did One of My Turns with Jerry Hall doing the female voice. That is brilliant. I don't know. I've never been able to find it again because I think it disappeared.
Wasn't that when they did the Berlin Wall?
Was it?
Yeah, Berlin Wall.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Jerry Hall with the voice of the groupie. And he did One of My Turns.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Berlin Wall. When he did it on the Berlin Wall.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, I like me Pink Floyd. Oh yes. So, which is your favourite album of Pink Floyd then?
Dark Side of the Moon, probably.
See, I have to go through eras, me.
Yeah.
So look, the first one, obviously, Source of Full of Secrets. I love that album.
Yeah,
That's the early stuff. Then you go to your middle 70s, and I think between Medal and Atom Heart Mother.
Yeah, so
Then
I
you-
got any of them.
Then you go into later ones. Then obviously I love The Wall and I love Final Cut as well, because I have to watch it. I have to listen to them both together.
Yeah.
Because obviously Final Cut is basically the outtakes of what The Wall, if it would have been a triple album. And then obviously you go to the Dave Gilmour era,
Yeah,
And I think
more my era, to be honest.
Delicate Sound of Thunder.
Delicate Sound of Thunder. I've actually got that on my Sky Planner again. The full concert that they did. That's more my era. The earlier ones, I'm not really au fait with, to be honest. But the that Delicate Sound of Thunder is my thing.
Now, my first ever album of theirs that I ever heard was Wish You Were Here.
I like that.
And I heard that, believe it or not, how I got into Pink Floyd was through Tony Hart.
What, the drawer?
Yeah, the drawer on the on TV program.
Yeah.
He was, he would draw a massive big picture on a football pitch or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was playing Wish You Were Here.
Was he really?
Yeah, and I thought, I love this music. And it took me ages to find out who it was. And it was a mega hot summer in 6-week holidays. And I was going out with a girl. And I went round to her house and her dad were playing it. And it was so like, oh my God, who is this? Who is this? I must have been about 8 or 9. And it was like, who is this? And that's how I got into Pink Floyd.
I really got into him by watching the Wall film. I went when I was 15 years old to watch the Wall film, and it came out. My mate he ended up being a copper, but he was really educated lad. And when I came out from watching the Wall film, I hadn't got a clue what I'd seen. I just thought I never understood even what I'd been watching. It completely lost me. And I watched it again, probably 10 years ago, and I got, obviously it was a mental breakdown, wasn't it? It was the artist having a nervous breakdown, and the insides of his brain. But you'd never understand that at 15 years old.
No.
I've still got it on DVD, and I love that. But I've got a phobia of rats, so I have to fast forward past one bit.
Oh dear. Little bit of history about the Wall. A friend of mine, many moons ago, I used to work at a tatty factory in the Weybridge, and one of the drivers was actually a stand-in. You know the part where they're actually at the railway and it bring the boys back home?
Yeah.
He was one of the soldiers. And he's there. When we worked out whereabouts he was, you can see him for something like a split second. And it was his brother that was a stand-in actor. That's what his job was for different things. And obviously they needed lots more people to actually play, extras to play. Yeah. And he went along, Yeah, he came into the Weybridge, he showed me all bits and pieces, all photos and that lot. He was sort of like ace. He was like, oh, you were in Pink Floyd. It was awesome.
Brilliant. That's amazing to tell your grandkids, isn't it? It's weird, isn't it? Because if you go as an extra and you speak, then they've got to give you dinner. That's weird, isn't it? If you go as an extra, they don't give you anything. But if you have to give it one word, then you're an actor and they've got to feed you and pay you. So, that's why some people appear loads and loads of times on EastEnders, but they never say one word because otherwise they'd have to pay them.
See Emily play. Love that track. I like I do like the early Syd Barrett stuff though.
Oh God, yeah.
They do play that. The Australian ones do play some Syd Barrett stuff.
Because he was such a clever lad. It's a shame what happened to him, like, but he was one of those ones that so like, to get inside his head, because he was also very, how can you put it? His lyrics are very childlike, but very English childlike, very old-fashioned, very Alice in Wonderland type-esque style. But I didn't. Shame what happened to Sid.
Bill says, I'm your wicked Uncle Ernie. Oops, wrong movie.
Yeah, but I mean, Bicycle Song.
Yeah.
That was Syd Barrett. It was a perfect example of what you just said. I always liked the Madcap Laughs.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was an absolute corker.
No, I'm not familiar with that one.
It's a solo Syd Barrett.
It's both. He did 2 more solo albums afterwards. When the
it's completely beyond me, that one.
Oh, once you start talking about Pink Floyd,
so I'm not as into Pink Floyd as I thought. Just the latest stuff.
No. I mean, Christ, I always reckon if you enjoy one track, just one track,
just one,
you know, they've done the job. You don't have to know all the,
That's the amazing things about apps like Deezer. I mean, I'd pay the family thing because my grandkids are on it and everything, but for as little as £5 a month or something like that, you've got access to most things. I'll just sit there watching a film and I'll Shazam things while it's on there, and then you just go onto it on Deezer, and then you'll like that track, and then you go into their albums, and you've just found another artist that you didn't even know existed from years gone back. I love George Michael as well. I thought he was brilliant. I went to watch him at Manchester a couple of years before he died. Well, quite a few years before he died. It was chucking it down in rain. It was about the 7th of July, and we went to watch it. It was absolutely brilliant, and luckily enough, we bought seats up in the stand because it was a proper football. It was the Emirates ground. I watched him there, and he was really, really good. Sophie Ellis Bextor was on before him. She was good as well.
Sophie Alex Baxter. I used to like her mum.
Oh yeah, Janet Ellis. She was on something the other night as well. She started with Groovejet, didn't she? She did this thing with Groovejet, that Sophie Ellis Bextor, and then she had a career of her own.
Yeah, but she came and then just disappeared again, though, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. Yeah, but she didn't actually disappear. It's just that she was still making music, but it wasn't getting to the places that you were listening to it on.
Yeah.
Still doing albums. Done loads and loads of albums.
Really?
I mean, yeah. But she came out and it was chucking it down, and she just all the way through her set, she's like, "Oh, it's raining, it's wet," and moaning about the weather. And George Michael came out and he just went, "Oh, it looks like we're going to get wet then." And then, just for 2 hours, knocked it out. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It was such a shame when he died.
Yeah.
But that's the way life is, I suppose. Sometimes if you get too much money, and things take over in life, don't they?
I think I was never a fan of George Michael, especially the Wham years. I couldn't stand that stuff. But my appreciation for George Michael when he did the Freddie Mercury tribute.
Yeah.
When Freddie died, and he did that concert then, and he just knocked that out of the park. He really did.
Yeah. Like Freddie did with Live Aid. They were just the best things on there ever, weren't they? It came out there and screamed it. So.
The way he had the crowd playing out of his hands, they were absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. He could stand on a speaker at the front of the thing and make a few funny noises with his mouth, and 100,000 people would make the same noise.
Oh, Freddie, yeah.
Well, even singing.
Well, it was literally working his vocal warm-up into the concert.
I mean, if the film's true, it was a complex character. It must have been really hard work to be with or know. But a lot of times they are, aren't they, if they're that famous. I mean, he really expected his wife to hang on for the rest of her life and be celibate, because he wasn't. He wanted her to be his. So I can imagine him being a bit hard work to be around. But what a fabulous, fabulous performer.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, he was a complex character, but I think he really did love her.
Yeah, loved her. But he wasn't capable of loving her as a husband, because obviously. And again, that was the thing, wasn't it? He was gay, and he couldn't be gay. If he wanted to be famous, he couldn't be gay.
I mean, let's face it, and I think half the stories that you heard about Freddie and his escapades aren't true anyway.
No.
I really don't believe it.
No, because I suppose you'll get somebody who's been to a party with him. They want to be a lot more famous or they want to be famous, or they want to.
Well, I think if you watch Bohemian Rhapsody, the film, I mean, I know it's not 100% accurate.
No,
I mean, they totally admitted that it wasn't 100% accurate, but you could see where that little problem happened with the other guy, and you could see how them strange stories came out.
Oh yeah,
obviously. Yeah. So yeah.
I watched the Elton John thing last week. I thought that was brilliant.
That was weird. I thought
Not
it was
my
weird.
cup of tea.
I enjoyed it. But it was so like, would I watch it again? I bought it on Blu-ray, just straight off.
Yeah.
And
I really enjoyed it because it was filmed in the same way as the Pink Floyd movie. I found it, that sort of thing where it turns a bit more like a Tarantino, where the end turns up at the beginning, and you know what I mean. I found it, rather than just a straight watch, it was a bit more complex than that.
Well, yeah, because let's face it, it wasn't I think what everybody was expecting was a documentary about Elton John, and it wasn't.
No.
It was a bit of fantasy come...
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what you would call it, because you can't call it a documentary.
No. It documented his well, obviously his life's still going, but it documented his life and his thoughts about his life and the reflections of his parents that had on his life. And...
Musical drama, I think, is probably the best.
Yeah, because you can't imagine that everything that went off really actually happened, but I think it was more of a... How can you put it? How your brain interprets certain events.
Yeah. So
I definitely get the feeling that his drug years and alcohol abuse were probably sanitised.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
that boy could party.
Yeah, he could.
Apparently, the hissy fits were legendary as well. So
I bet they still are. You can see that. You can see that. You do find it a lot of times with artists and famous. I mean, Bill's the same since we got up to 100, just over 100 followers. If I don't get his emblem, as big as mine or a little bit bigger, he won't come on. Just throws an absolute fit.
I'm saying with M&Ms, if I don't have just be M&Ms, I'm not coming on.
If he ain't got the right brand of water at the side of him before I press the thing button, he just storms off.
Oh, Evanescence, yeah, I've seen them as well. They were
I'd love
good.
to see them.
Yeah,
I want to see them.
Yeah, I'd love to see them.
Oh, she's got a pair of lungs.
She has, yeah. She's really, really good.
To be honest, that was the only thing that saved that Daredevil movie was the soundtrack.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
I could just listen to her forever. She's lovely. Such a voice. She does one of the Korn songs as well, doesn't she? And she does it better than them.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
I missed that.
I can't remember which one it is.
Yeah. I can't think.
No, I must admit, it's one. They're one of the bands that sort of broke while I was still running pubs.
Oh, yeah.
And you couldn't get away from Bring Me Back, Bring Me to Life.
Yeah.
Everybody was putting it on the jukebox, and there were certain songs that had me reaching for an axe to take the damn thing off the wall.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Afro Man, Because I Got High, was one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Nelly Furtado, I'm Like a Bird. If I hear that bloody song one more time.
Yeah, because that's it. When it's at the top of the charts in the day, they'd all come in and put it on, wouldn't they? You just listen to the same one all night.
And then but the problem was the kids had put it on first when it was in the charts.
Yeah.
And then Mum would hear it coming out of the bedroom time and time. And then Mum would start putting it on 3 months after it's disappeared from the charts, and you thought you'd got away from it. Not good. Not good.
Shame you couldn't have control of your own thing. Oh, that one's broke this week. We're not listening to that for another week.
Oh, God, they wouldn't even give me free credits.
No?
Really?
No, I always ended up putting a £5 out of my own pocket at the start of the afternoon shift just to get some music on it, pub.
Blimey,
things have changed now. They used to have the one I used to work in, I used to bottle up, they used to just unlock it at the thing, it'll click, 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 where the click the coin thing, because it obviously used to put coins in and it used to go past that thing, and they just used to do that, so I could listen to it while I was bottling up. I'll put you £1 on. Which is enough for 10 songs in them days, wasn't it?
So you're a big ABBA fan as well?
I went to watch the movie at the Pictures. Do you remember ABBA the movie?
Yeah.
Back in the day?
Because you wanted ABBA the movie, ABBA the album, ABBA the single.
Yeah. I can remember one, ABBA the soap. They even did soap merchandise and stuff like that from that's how big they were. Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, can you remember that? What was that film? Mamma Mia. I loved that. I absolutely loved it.
Never seen it.
And you really?
No.
If you're having a grumpy day, put the Flatleys on from Britain's Got Talent. You're not be having one then when the first day they ever came out.
Old Stavros.
Stavros Flatley, yeah. And it was just hilarious, wasn't it? Even now, you put it on YouTube. If you're having a bad day, it'll make you smile.
That's a bit harsh, Irish. Apparently my first jukebox was nuts. A guy playing a stand-up piano in his saloon.
In a saloon?
In a saloon?
In a saloon? Hey, that were posh.
we had the best jukebox in the town, I can guarantee you. If you were a metalhead, yeah, because we had all the chart stuff, then I was allowed to pick 5 different albums.
Right, yeah.
So I'd either got metal on,
Yeah.
or I'd got Shine on, so all the old Britpop stuff.
Yeah.
And by God, Friday nights used to bounce. Because Alien Ant Farm, Smooth Criminal was in the charts
yeah, I
at the
remember
time.
that.
Yeah.
So they let me have the album. Well, that album was awesome because there was like Smooth Criminal, which was the radio friendly. Then everything else on that was just bouncing.
At that point, I was really into Limp Bizkit.
Yeah,
I like
they
them,
were
yeah.
another one.
Yeah, I like them.
And Presidents of the United States.
Yeah,
Of America.
that was another album we had on.
With
Peaches
Lump.
and-
Lump.
Yeah.
Who did Lump? Was it them?
No, Lump was...
She's Lump. She's Lump.
No, it is, that was Presidents of America, yeah. Because Peaches was the other track off that album.
Yeah.
Mick has a Limp Biscuit.
No need.
We're on about vape drama earlier. There's going to be some later. I'm going to delete it. I'm solo verse from tonight, unless Des wants to come in.
Oh, no need.
PUSA.
Yeah, Presidents of the United States of America.
Is it soggy? Is it a one dunk?
One.
No. Come on, this is Mick we're talking about. It's got to be
So
Hobnob.
it's got to be Hobnob.
The SAS of Dunkin' Biscuits doesn't go soggy.
Yeah.
I don't like a Limp
Say.
Biscuit. Custard creams all the way.
What was the other one? Oh, Beck. And then
Oh,
we had
blooming
the,
heck, Beck.
and then we had the Metallica, the Black Album.
Did you really?
That was on the jukebox for must have been 12 months.
Bloody hell. I'll tell you what, if you put it on now, they'd still play it, wouldn't they?
God, yeah.
It's one of the best albums. St. Anger didn't do that well, did it? But I like, what's that one they pinched off somebody with? One,
Am I Evil?
no, I can't think what it's called. No good asking me. That memory's gone. Oh, it's not. They didn't pinch it off him. They asked him if they could sing it, but they. I listened to the original version. It wasn't half as good as their version. The one with the X-rated version. It's a hooker, isn't it? I could sing it in my head, but I can't think of the title.
I was thinking Whiskey in the Jar there. But
No, that's brilliant as well. That's better than the Thin Lizzy version, isn't it?
Oh, that could be a little controversial, Mick.
If you're a Metallica fan and not really a Thin Lizzy fan, it's a little bit better.
Oh, yes.
I'm keeping quiet.
Yeah. It's because music and vape juice are just subjective.
Yeah, totally.
No,
Yeah.
no, the modern stuff is crap.
Well,
No, it is. It's crap.
I started listening to Radio 2. I mean, I tried it once about 15 years ago and thought, oh no, this is really for me. And then for a while, I sort of thought I really need a Radio 1.5. And then one day I put Radio 2 on and I thought, this is a lot easier to listen to, isn't it, really?
Oh, I can't be doing with radio.
I used to enjoy the later night, obviously, when we were working evenings and nights. You used to get some brilliant shows on Radio 2. Bob Harris was still on until about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, Bob
I
Harris
used
is
to look
good.
forward to him coming on, yeah. I used to look forward to him coming on. An absolute legend that way. But and some of the stuff he used to play, it used to be a bit of a quiz to find out what he was going to play first.
I was on my.
I'm just
Sorry,
smash.
I was going to say, trust Kentucky to bring in Right Said Fred. No. Bill says he's a Lizzie fan. Saw them for a few times for some reason.
Really?
There was better tracks. There was much. Some of the Thin Lizzy stuff you've got to really dig through the albums to find. But
Yeah.
I was never a fan.
No, it was just what my thing.
I mean, I appreciate them, but no, Thin Lizzy, I was never a fan.
No.
They just... No.
And I can't remember the name of that thing. I'll have to put it in the chat next week. So what have you got in for review this week then, Mark?
In for review.
Yeah. Have you got anything?
Mine started 20 minutes early.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
That's all right.
What have I got? What's coming up on the channel? I've got the clutch. I'm doing two versions of it. I'm doing an actual review, but I'm also planning on doing a strip down and maintenance video as well. Something I've never done before, so I'm planning on doing that.
Be interesting.
So I'm going to be doing that. I've got all the bits and pieces. I've got little pods and more pods. Yeah. I've got a lot of pods.
Do you use pods? Are you into pods? Or?
I'm not mega into pods now.
No,
I'm not. I'm not a pad man. I've got to admit, but I've been sent a load of pods to review, so you review what you've been sent like. So they've got. I look at it this way: they've got the merits, and all of them. It doesn't matter which pod you get. They've all got their own merits in they've got their place in vaping, but it's just sort of like. Me personally, as a vapor, no, I'm more your Mech man and an RDA, and I don't hide that fact either.
No.
Lights have changed again.
You what? Sorry.
Lights have changed again.
Is it still busy out there then?
2 secs. I'll go and check.
Yes. Make sure you pick up the bits that you need because they'll be sending you back home. About the only one I use is that. I use that daily. I've got a Caliburn that I use when I'm travelling on the way to the airport, so you can have a toot in the toilets at the airport. That's about as far as I've really got with pods.
Lynn, I know XYZ.
Since I've been off, I've just used Mex all day.
Yeah, I am. It's my kind of vaping. I can't help the type of vapor I am, but it's sort of like I'm not one of these people that I'm only into Mex and that's all I'm interested in. I'm always interested in other things. And I think if you're into vaping, like I am, I'm coming up to my 9th year now.
Are you really?
Yeah, 9 years. Officially, I started vaping last month, 9 years ago. I cut the fags out completely in August. So I had my last cigarette August the 24th, 9 years ago. So I've seen a lot of changes over the years with vaping and how it's progressed and regressed, and old fads have come in and new fads have gone out. And
even with me though, that's changed a lot since 2016. I I started on those pen things, and then it was a lot of sub-ohm stuff, wasn't it? And then sort of, I don't think Mex don't seem to be as prevalent for new vapors. They don't seem to move on to them. They'll move on to sub-ohm, and then you don't. There's not the call. I bought I bought that the other week, and that's been stood in there for a while. I didn't realise how good it was. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been. To be honest, I didn't realise it was copper inside. That'd have been here a long time ago.
See, I've always liked Mex because when I started using Mex, it was at the point where you didn't have wattage. Or you had very little wattage. So if you wanted to Clasbro clouds, that's the only way that you really could go down it. I used to drill holes in my RDAs to get more airflow.
Did you really?
Yeah.
See, I'd never think about that.
Everything was mouthed along. There wasn't sub-ohming when I first started. And then, so like a couple of years later, obviously the sub-ohm and the wattage race started.
Yeah.
Sorry. So that's why I got into Mex. It wasn't because I want to be trendy or anything like that, or I want to be elitist. It was so I could get the vape that I wanted.
Yeah. I must admit, I always said to him when Eddie was at T, why don't you buy a Mex? No interest in Mex. I'll blow up. I don't want one of them. I want one of them for. And then I bought my first one. I thought it'd be better if it hit a bit harder. And then I started going and bought that Purge. And then I got the obviously booked for shiny things, and then I thought these take a lot of cleaning, and then I found out if you bought one of these, you didn't. And that is proof, by the way. I was watching a little bit of the show that you did last night that Alton does actually go with black.
Yes.
Can you remember that bit of the show early on when somebody
yes.
was on about an Ultim thing?
The problem with Ultim is it's Marmite. You either love it or hate it.
Yeah.
And it does look like pissy plastic. Let's be right.
It does.
Well, it is plastic, isn't it? I've got the Asgard as well, not the clear one, but they call it Storm or something like that. And to be honest, I can't remember what I bought it for. I got something in mind when I bought it, and it didn't do that job, so it's been in the cupboard ever since I got it. I've got the copper Asgard.
Voker, I would love to see some of your mechs, mate. I'd love to come round your house. It's all like, oh, I like that one, I like that one, I like that one,
Yeah.
I like that one. He keeps on teasing people all the time with these mechs.
He's got them in the bar, though, hasn't he?
I know.
Where's he from?
Bar full of mechs.
Where's he from? Is he UK?
No. He's in Dubai.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, probably a future guest for the show then.
Yeah.
Do a mech special.
Oh, God, yeah.
If you get Voker on showing his toys,
Oh, blooming heck.
I'm watching.
And I'm definitely watching.
Well, now I was thinking of you. Not me, it's yours. I wasn't pinching your guess. I was thinking of you.
But
I'd love to get Voker on. Just to watch Mark sort of going, nurse the screens.
I'd just be there with dribble just going down the throat. It's like,
Some shows just need to be, it needed to be an extra show or something like that where you got just sack everything off and just about. Today we've got Voker in and we're going to look at his mechs.
Yeah. I think that's a show, to be honest with you. I think that's just a show. Voker, you're coming on. You're just going to show us your mechs. In fact, we'll just sit in the sidelines and just... In fact, I'll reduce the size of us and we'll have you on full screen just showing your mechs. Because honestly, his collection, there's some of the stuff he's got's gorgeous. Really is.
Voker says, get Ben on.
I wouldn't need Viagra. I'd have a hard on for 4 hours. Be like a babby with an apple in its hand.
What mechs do you have? Are you more onto tubes then, Mark? Or are you
I'm mega tubey. Yeah. I've got my collection. You won't be able to see that. You might. That's all my collection.
Oh.
All up there. They're all my mechs.
You could have a full 2 hours of mechs then.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah. I mean, blooming heck, if I ever stop vaping completely, the scrap man's going to be awesome. The amount of copper I've got on there.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got. I mean, I must have 7 now, I suppose. No more.
I think I've got about. How many would you say, Steve? About 60?
You've got 3 shells, 2 deep on most of them. He's got wood, metal.
I've got all sorts. Literally all sorts. Not of them. Quite a few of them are clones, like. And some of the clones. I used to collect clones that you couldn't buy the originals. Back in the day, they used to bring out mechs, but they'd be sort of like very, very limited runs, like the penny mod and things like that.
Yep.
And you just couldn't get them. And the only way that you could get it would be the clone version. So I got a load of them ones and that. And I used to be a big fan of 3F vapes as well.
All right.
I'm a poor man.
Well, you've got to be realistic, haven't you? I mean, some of the things I bought, you probably won't buy them again because they are good. I mean, if you buy a purge and you take the bottom off it, it comes off and the threads are just like they've been dipped in butter. They're so easy.
Oh,
You
they're
don't get
gorgeous.
but if you could buy one for, say, 30 quid instead of 400, then what difference does it make? Or 50 quid? Or
I mean,
it's made just as well.
one of my unicorn mods is a monarch. I would absolutely love a monarch, but throwing away 400 quid on a mech, it's sort of like, as much as I would love to save up, and it's sort of like 400 quid for a mod. That is just,
It's a lot of money.
It's a hell of a lot of money.
But if you only ever buy one, and then say, well, that was my splurge.
I did that with my purge.
Did you? Which one have you got?
I've got the which one? I've got the truck.
Have you?
I've got the Back
Oh,
to
you got a
Basics V2. I've got the Slam.
Have you got the slam piece? Did you get the money shot on top as well?
No, I just got these straight because I didn't like the money shot. No, I didn't like it. I didn't like the way the deck was.
All right.
So I went for the Warhead instead.
I put the copper Asgard on top of that slam, and that looked gorgeous.
Yeah, I haven't got an Asgard.
They're all right. It's one of them, I've got a Stormbreaker with a copper Asgard on the top, and I didn't realise when it was coming it was actually real copper. So there's something else to polish.
Oh yeah, you got to polish. You got to be into polish. See, that's the thing is though, with being mech, I used to smoke rollies, so I'm used to tinkering.
Yeah.
And I think if you get into mechs, you've got to be a kind of a tinkerer.
You've got to be, yeah. I like these because they've got the adjustable 510, so you can actually get the atomizers to line up, and that's always been a thing for me. Obviously, that's quite easy on a tube because it doesn't matter where it is.
Yeah.
But,
I've been tempted to get in a Stormbreaker, I've got to admit.
Yeah. Yeah, they're worth it. If you just keep Googling, and every now and again I say I got 50 quid off that rule breaker. And that was the one that I actually decided I was going to buy it. I had a good week or something, I've got something paid up that needed doing, and then I thought, well, I'm going to treat myself and I'm going to get one. And I Googled it again and came up with a different site and saved myself. I'll say it was 160 in it, and got it, I think it was just over 90 quid delivered.
You can't go wrong at that.
No.
And let's face it, a mech, I don't care what anyone says, the beauty about having a mech, it will last you a lifetime.
Yeah, well, yeah.
There's no board that will pack in or anything like that. They're easy to maintain, and it'll last you for as long as you ever need it.
Yeah, it will. Yeah. They have. They send you. There's another set of contacts and a spring for the fire button. And because the contacts are made in such a way that if you do build a bit low for them, it'll burn them off before it blows up, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But I've never. I mean, the contacts in these look like the day I bought them. So.
Yeah, I've got to admit, I'm saying with Voca, I've never been a fan of Purge RDAs.
No? I've got 3, all the same one. I actually like them. I genuinely do like them. The only thing is, if you buy pre-made coils, you have to tell them what they're going to put them in, otherwise they're a bit short, and you end up with them stretched out like that. But,
yeah. Lethal! Fist bump.
I think you need to ban Bill.
Hello, Lethal. Why, what's he doing?
He says, great show, guys. Got to run. Keep Mick. Now that I've watched him live, I know what's bringing our show down.
Bill was never going to buy a mech. He said, I'm not having a mech. I don't like mechs. And now he's got 4.
What?
Iris has just said, I don't want anything called a money shot near my mouth.
Especially if it looks like that a bit.
Yeah.
Diseased.
See, that's the beauty though. What I love about especially mechs, I've known that many people that says, oh no, I'm not touching a mech. Oh no mech. Then you get them to try one, and then all of a sudden next time you see him, oh yeah, I've bought 4 more.
Yeah.
There's just something happens to people that get mechs.
He's got the original noisy cricket, and then he bought the new board for the bottom and the new 510 thing, so to make it proper safe. And then he was after the version 2, and you can't get one in America anywhere. I bought the last one, I think, from TVS. They ain't got any more.
Yeah, they have.
Have they ever got some
Yes,
more?
TVS has got version 2. Yes.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Oh,
and they've got version 1s as well.
They've got version 1s. I knew they've got that because I was trying to get one for somebody what lives in Norway.
Yeah. They've got version 2s. Definitely back in workshop. I know because I've seen them.
It's not on the site.
Isn't it on the site?
No, it's not on the site. I
must admit though, there's something that just feels manly about the Cricket V1 without all the safety bits on. Because it's like, is this going to kill me today?
Can you remember what was it called now? I know you had at the bottom of it F clones. Oh, what were it now? And that used to be scary, that one. Oh, what were it called now? Brain's gone dead again. Come on, chat. Which one am I talking about? It said F clones at the bottom of it. Came out about 4 years ago, And there were
That was the limited
loads.
edition, wasn't it?
Pardon?
It was the limited edition.
Yeah, but there were loads and loads of clones of it. Loads.
Right.
And that were a parallel mech.
Parallel.
I can't think what we're called now. It's the only problem, mechs. There's that many names for them.
Suicide mod.
I think it might have been.
Oh no. That's the Prince.
And how you
of
did it, how you put your batteries in and you had to screw the actual underneath. You had your brass contacts and you had to screw your actual batteries to stop the battery. Cherry bomb. Thank you, Bill.
That's it.
Cherry bomb. Always wanted one, never got one.
You used to got all your fingers as well.
Well, it was the cherry bomb clones that were blowing up.
Yeah, with
wasn't
the clones.
Right.
So that's what caused all the problems with the. Because of course the clones blew up and the original mod just wasn't selling because people were assuming it was theirs.
So you'd be able to get one then, probably still somewhere in the back of a vape shop.
Silly money, I think they are now. An original cherry bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, same as a billet box. Yeah, I mean when you
They
look
are,
at the
yeah.
prices they're charging.
Are they any good?
I've had a hit. I was impressed. With the right bridge in it, it's absolutely fantastic.
I've been going back in the day, I used to watch Plumes of Hazard. I mean, that's one of the earliest vaping shows I can remember from the States. And it was at the time when vapor flasks were popular. And they got the billet box. And ever since then, I've always wanted one. It's a after lung jobby.
Is it? What sort of money are they? Are they big? Are they?
Oh, they're big money.
Are they?
Anywhere from 500-600 quid up to £1,000.
Oh yeah, and then you've got your bridges, and you can spend a lot of money just on bridges. But the SXK or the SXK, I think it is.
Yeah.
They do a version. Nature Vapor's selling them. I think they're about 80 quid, and it comes with a load of bridges as well. And by all accounts, it's as good as the original billet box, even though it's not.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's a clone.
Probably the way to go forward then. Sometimes you just want things because you do, don't you?
It's $89.99, and that's for the billet box V4 with the USB. 2 secs. It's just asking me whether I'm old enough to buy it.
Are you old enough?
Really?
Apparently so.
While you're on there, put it in your cart. and you will buy it tomorrow. Me and Bill did a thing about it. If you put it in your cart, then you're going to buy it at some point. Because the next day it's going to send you an email saying there's something in your cart.
So it's a 70-watt SXK chipset. Takes a single 18650, and it comes with the sub-tank mini-style rebuildable deck with bridge, the Kanga sub-tank coil adapter, an Aspire Nautilus BVC coil adapter. So there's there's 3 options straight off. And if you like the Nautilus, the BVC in that is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So bargain.
Bargain, isn't it? Yeah.
Because I actually do like the style of it.
Always reminds me of the AIOs. You know, the
What's coming out now? Yeah, of course
Yeah.
they are. I mean, something like the artery, like that one.
to be honest, you'd be hard pushed to tell the difference if you just saw it in somebody's hand. Yeah, between the artery and the billet box.
I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that there are interchangeable. They're interchangeable.
Blimey. I must say, I prefer it in the black. But that's just my old goth peeking out, yeah.
Reverend said condensation boxes with tiny capacity.
True.
Not a fan then, Rev.
Yeah, you'll not be buying one anytime soon then.
Give me an unregulated parallel box mod any day of the week.
That's one good thing with the with that Stonebreaker. I mean, I've got Lethal told me what build to put in it, and it's on fire, absolutely on fire with that Asgardian. And
because that series though, isn't it? The Stormbreaker.
No, Stormbreaker's parallel.
It is parallel. All right, I always thought it was
parallel. Yeah, no, it's the Rule Breaker, the series. The same thing exactly, same size, same everything apart from. I mean, you can actually get a solid brass one now, Stormbreaker and Rule Breaker, or solid copper. They're about £200, but or maybe a bit more. But they're you can buy them. Would be a really, really heavy thing to walk about with, because obviously you've got 3 21-700s in there anyway, so they're not light. But you get I've got a stainless steel building that Asgard and that Stormbreaker, and it's on fire.
I'm gonna have to get myself a Stormbreaker. It's no good.
Nice one. Right, well, we're at that time.
We are.
So,
bloody minute, that
can
went
I
quick.
say a massive thank you to Mick.
Massive thank you to you.
Nah,
I
thoroughly
really
enjoyed
it.
today's show.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I really have. Could have changed that bill rattling on.
All that was missing was a couple of bottles of Nuki Brown.
I'm sure we could have found some.
With your history, no.
Yeah, get banned from the whole show, even though you were appearing on it.
It'd be a first.
Yeah, well.
Oh,
And Lethal, while you're in chat, I sent you a message.
Is that the one with all the rude words in?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. No, it's the plan for Thursday's show.
Cool. Right. So, Mick, what you got coming up then, kid? So you've got the show tonight.
Just got my show tonight. That's it, really. I've started doing 1 or 2 reviews, but I'm not particularly good at it because I've only just started doing them. But rather than doing a review, I've done a look round things that I already own that people might be interested in. So, if you're interested in a Rule Breaker, I've done a look round that, and then 2 Purges, I've done a look round them, and the Saga. So there's only this Purge to go and the Stormbreaker. So I'll probably do a look round them at some point, just to show people that were probably never going to buy them, or were a little bit interested in buying them, having a look round. So obviously, with nobody sends me anything to review because I haven't been going long enough for anybody to be interested in me in that way. So I've just sort of showed people around the stuff I already own. So there's not a review because I already own it and I like it. Otherwise, I wouldn't want to show them. That's all, really.
And that's probably the best way of it being, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because it's something bought out of love is always probably show people around that. But other than that, just the show tonight. We used to do them in the morning, but I don't really think there's any point in that because the UK people were at work and the American people were still in bed. So that there's not a lot of point with that. So we just do one on Sunday night now and then randomly turn up live at night when we're not doing anything. But that's it. That's me.
And you,
just
Steve?
a quick reminder. Tonight's Vaping Misfits.
Yes.
Does have a few auctions of stuff that didn't get done during the charity stream. So make sure you join them. Get yourself a couple of bargains. All money's going to fantastic causes. The last I heard, they were around the sort of low 3,000s, which is an absolutely stunning amount of money to raise.
What were they expecting? What were they expecting when they first? Wasn't it hundreds they were expecting?
About 350 quid.
I thought that's what they said. That's absolutely amazing.
I mean, to be part of that was such an honour.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
Yeah, I dived in about 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And bless him, it was such a giggle.
Yeah.
It really was.
Nice
Fantastic, Chris. I mean, he's such a lovely guy, and Gruff and Sean as well. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And dear God, I don't think I've watched a show yet where I haven't peeled like a babby.
They live, the conditions that some of the people that were on there have. They live with it on the reg, so it is what it is, isn't it? And they manage it.
Oh, some of them. You've got to. So Thursday we've got the home service.
Yay!
And then next week we're back to just us two.
Yeah.
So Mark, what you got coming up, mate?
The usual. You'll see coming up this week. I've got some other bits and pieces showing the wonderful world of SoulOhm. I've already mentioned I'm doing the clutch mainly. This is the big one this week. That'll be the review will be coming up tomorrow, and then the day after or the day after that will be the maintenance video, and then I've got some more pods or AIOs to bring out. So I've got a couple already in the wings, should we say, that I've been testing. So yeah, they'll be coming up.
Bang on.
Nobody's interested really about pods, but I'm being sent them, so I've got to do them. You know what I mean?
People that vape pods are very, very interested in pods.
Yeah, people that like pods and that, yeah, they like them.
There we go. Bill's just updated it, so there's 3,228 so far, and the smoothie challenge, which was to put chili, the century egg, and that horrible what's the word?
Okay.
Fermented fish that they got.
Oh, the cemented fish.
Is that the Scandinavian thing that they do?
Yeah.
They do?
Oh.
Watching Chris's face after eating that boy's got an iron stomach. Yeah. I mean,
Did anybody puke?
It's the closest I've ever seen it. It wasn't right. So that's at 3,500.
That's
so
brilliant.
if people can raise another £272, you get to watch them suffer again.
Oh, right. That's well worth it.
Oh, bless. So stunning. That's it.
Yeah.
There was a really nice comment in there. And where is it? Oh, there you go. From Iris. To be fair, this community always comes together and outdoes expectations for a cause. You're not wrong.
You're not kidding.
Irish. You're not wrong at all. So make sure you catch the Misfits tonight. It will be a cracker.
It'll be awesome.
I've never seen a bad show yet on that.
No.
Absolutely brilliant. So to everybody that joined us in chat, thank you. We wouldn't have a show without you lot.
No.
And it's, how's it go? How'd you do it?
Right, there you go.
I don't think I can. There we go.
Oh, bless.
Even the guests can do it. It's that champagne I had before I come on.
You wait till the roadkill kicks in, mate. Makes your bum sore.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
No,
I was doing so well up
No.
until that point.
Yeah. You're going to just slip up all day.
Oh, dear.
That's why I need the rehypnol, Mick. No, seriously, to everybody in chat that's joined us, thank you so much. We hope you've had something that you found funny or you just enjoyed listening to us.
Old farts rant on.
Well, that's it, yeah.
Well, even if we've just made you feel younger than you actually are,
Yeah.
our job is done.
Yeah, totally.
So I'm going to hand it over to Mark for the bye-bye.
Okay. Right, brush that off your shoulder stuff and that. Be good.
Stay
You
at
can't be
home.
careful. Don't ring
Right.
us with shut.
Don't forget to catch us all on Thursday. We're going to be doing a little bit something different on Thursday for the show. I'm not going to tell you what it is just at the present moment, but we will be doing something a little bit different. So please join me, Chris and Steve at 7 p.m, where we'll be hopefully entertaining you, doing something a little bit different. I want to give Mick a big shout out, say thank you so much. It's awesome finally actually meeting you in person to say hello to you. And obviously, if you're needing a taxi in Gainsborough, don't call Mick.
We're shut.
So I want to give you a big love. Steve, as always, big love to you, kid out. It's been absolutely awesome. You guys in chat and the spanners, thank you so much. We do appreciate it. One thing that I'm going to say to you all, please stay safe. please stay 2 meters away from each other. Please don't cough on each other. And hopefully we'll get through this blooming corona rubbish, whatever's going off. So you all, please look after each other. We're going to say tra. Wave, bye!
Do, 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 do.